Things like this usually don't happen in a community like ours. It's very tragic.
Investigators release autopsy reports today for 8 members of an Ohio family killed execution style.
We begin tonight with a deadline that has passed for the mother of 2 missing children from Rexburg.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If you're new here, we talk about all things true crime related. Today is going to be another quick update video. Honestly, I probably could have waited to record the video I did yesterday on Marcus Benavello. It was very short and I just could have put it with this, but it wasn't until after I finished that and wrapped it up that I saw that the Shasta County DA posted some information regarding the case of Tyler McCain. But before we get into those details, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's get started with the latest in the case against Tyler McCain. I previously covered the case of his wife, Nikki Chang Saley McCain, her disappearance, and then Tyler's preliminary hearing. If you missed those, they're all together in a playlist on my channel. I'll go ahead and link that below so you can get caught up on that if you want to. But Tyler was back in court yesterday, October 7th, where he entered a plea of not guilty to charges including the M-word, corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, and assault with force likely to cause great bodily injury. These charges are connected to the disappearance of his wife, who has been missing since May 2024, and her remains have still not been found. According to investigators, they believe that Tyler killed Nikki to prevent her from testifying against him after there was a DV incident back in November of 2023. As of right now, the trial is scheduled for November 18, 2025, like next month, with a few court dates between them, a review hearing on October 28th, a settlement conference on November 3rd, and then a trial readiness hearing on November 12th. In the meantime, though, Tyler will remain in the Shasta County Jail without bail. And I do have to say I was a little bit surprised that his next court date is like a month away, because we see how rare it is in these M cases that they go to trial this quickly. Tyler was just arrested in August, and now less than 90 days later, he's all set to go to trial, which again is strikingly weird in true crime. That said, though, I'm honestly thankful though to see that the case is moving forward. Any type of progress that's moving forward is a step closer to justice for Nikki's family, who has been fighting so hard for answers and accountability for their daughter and sister. Now, moving on to the next case, which is Nathan Gingles. There's no major update, but I did see, I like to go through the Broward County Court case files for him every so often, and I noticed one from an entry of October 6th, just a few days ago, and it was related to the defense's motion for a gag order in a closed pre-sentencing hearing. The court filings say, quote, "While it's true that this case has gained a great deal of coverage and publicity due to the circumstances involved, this fact alone does not demonstrate that full closure is required. The fact that the instant matter is high profile does not in itself give the defendant the right to close the flow of information to the public and press. Furthermore, while the coverage and pretrial publicity regarding this case has been large, the defendant has failed to show that the jury pool has been irreparably tainted and that his fair trial rights have been compromised." In regards to the gag order, it appears the defense had compared the reason for the gag order for them requesting it to the BK case, which, I don't like to say his name, where a gag order was issued. However, the court pointed out in this filing that this was not a fair comparison, seeing as how in the BK case, both parties actually stipulated to it, saying that they were on board with this. And I think that case was obviously different, mainly because people directly involved with the case, like the coroner on those, were doing media interviews, which I think is outrageous. But in Nathan's case, police have only released certain details, and that's mostly their own missteps and their shortcomings in what they've done to be transparent about them and their next steps. So both motions, the gag order and the closed hearing request, were both denied. There is a court appearance scheduled for October 10th for a motion to compel, but unless something major comes out of that, I probably won't cover it. Motions to compel usually seem more about discovery issues and things like that. Now, moving on to the last case that we're going to discuss today, it's the case of Hilda Vasquez. Well, she was the one arrested. She was arrested for negligent homicide and second-degree cruelty to a juvenile. I actually covered this case along with the Emmanuel Haro one because both of these parents are shitty as hell. But I'm not sure it got much traction. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. But I'll give you a little recap if you're new to the case. Brian Vasquez was a special needs child who was found deceased in a New Orleans East Lagoon, and it was determined that he died after being attacked by an alligator and drowning. He had escaped from his home hours before his mother reported him missing. At the end of September, Hilda appeared in court, where the prosecutor revealed that back in July, both she and her newborn tested positive for cocaine. The prosecutor argued that she was a danger to the community, which I definitely get that she's a danger, but I personally think it would be more to her children than to anyone else in the community, but the prosecutor obviously knows this case, including the law, better than I do. The judge did order Vasquez to be held without bail, and about a week prior to this court date, like I said, this was at the end of September, she was also ordered to not have any contact with her other 3 children. Right now, she has 2 DCFS cases open. One is related to the escape of Brian and his death, and another is her newborn testing positive for cocaine. Now, I don't know about you, but I just don't understand how she and the baby can test positive for cocaine and then not be taken away from her at the hospital. I'm not sure if that's just a New York thing or if I'm making that up even, but it seems like that's definitely not the way to go. I think it really just shines a light how broken our system can be. Sometimes it feels like people don't want to acknowledge it, but there's definitely times like this when we need to talk about it. Parents like this fail their kids over and over again, and there's so many red flags, so many warnings that just go unnoticed or ignored. I mean, Hilda injured her own son. She's the reason he's special needs. She injured him when he was just a tiny baby, and then she ended up getting custody back of him. I'm shocked by that. And now he's not alive because she didn't secure the window. She didn't go check on him. She did not take care of her son the way that she was supposed to. But we'll have to see how that carries out. It's definitely not your typical case. But that's all I have for today. I might be back tomorrow, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this week plays out. I'm trying to use some PTO up from my normal day job, so I have some things to do around the house, but I definitely wanted to focus on getting some videos out to you guys. So please make sure to like this video. I know it's annoying to hear that all the time, but it really does help me out so much. I'm working hard to cover these cases. Sometimes I'm up covering them, taking notes, writing out a script at 5 a.m. or I get my children up to get them on the bus and then I clock into work. So thank you all so much for being here with me. It means a lot. Until next time, stay safe out there.